are back with another episode of Young and Self-Employed, the Unfiltered Stories. I am your host, Nisa.
My name is Carl
Okay,
Christian.
it's not 6 p.m. Use your normal voice, please.
I'm Carl Christian, the nice agent. We are here again, the Young and Self-Employed Unfiltered Stories. Quick question. Nisa, income or profit?
Profit, now that I know better.
Okay, so let me see. What would you describe as income?
Income is, I don't want to say a salary, but kind of like a
The same boat.
a pre-discussed amount based on what you're getting paid, how much you're working. It's not always capped, but it's something that, for the most part, you're going to be in this range.
I agree. I would probably say it where income is limited to a certain potential that you have. Your income will not grow unless you move something in your life, which means time, knowledge, or position probably.
Mm-hmm.
But your income doesn't grow on its own.
Right.
You have to get involved for your income to grow.
Right.
Therefore, somebody that is a job or a salaried person or self-employed person, you have an income, and that income depends on you. That's what I would say about income. So, any particular example of income that you can think of?
I mean, like working a job, you get paid, $25 an hour, you're working 40 hours a week.
That's it. You cannot get paid more than that.
Unless you get promoted, or if you're working in a big company, you can only get promoted so much, I feel.
Okay.
But or even a small company, you can only get promoted so much. At the end of the day, there's only so much promotion you can get, even if you've been somewhere for 15, 20,
That's
25 years.
After the CEO, there's nothing else.
Right. So you're not gonna get his position, so you can only get so high.
So what I would say is, what would be the significance of income if somebody is self-employed? Do you have an idea? What would you say? Is it an income being self-employed, or is it profit?
I would say it's income if it's like a certain trade or service that they're doing. They have their income at the end of the year, or they pay themselves, whatever. Profit for me feels more like specific jobs. Now, unless that's your job of starting businesses or investing, all your profits is your income, but profit is more based on a specific job.
Okay.
I feel.
This is where the young and the not so young will disagree. To me, the minute the word employed shows up, is income. Self-employed, you're in an income-based job. You're just, the difference is you work for yourself. But if you are treating your career, your business as a self-employed, like let's say, oh, you know what, I'm going to fire my boss. I don't want to work for my boss anymore. And then now I'm going to become self-employed. Like an example, one of my assistants did that. I don't think she's still happy because she never understood what I was doing. Like what happened is this. When you say, I'm going to fire my boss, I want to be self-employed, I want to work for myself, it comes with certain responsibilities. And what you don't understand is, if you are self-employed, your income now depends on you and your ability, your strength, your weakness, all of it get into a pile together, and then they will say, hey, the way you work, you're only going to make $100,000. That's your income. And now that income comes with a cost on top of it. Right. Before, your boss was carrying that cost, but now you're. So for you to make $100,000, you're gonna spend $40,000. So you only make $60,000. Right. The difference is, a lot of people think that $60,000 is profit. It's not. It's income. The reason why, because there's no way of it growing, because you already maximize all your potential, all your strength, all your time. That's why self-employed is income based. Now, what would you consider profit? What I would consider profit is being an entrepreneur, being what they call a businessman. I don't like that word businessman or businesswoman. Being an entrepreneur means that you're creating income based on other people or something that does not involve you. So therefore, you invest when they work or when that product sells, whatever's left after expenses, now it's profit. It does not depend on you. Therefore, it is unlimitedly can grow. You cannot have a limit to it. Because if, let's say, I decide to do a podcast and I'm the one doing the podcast, I can only do it maybe like 16 hours a day. There's nothing else I can do. But if I decide to own a podcast studio where everybody can come, so now I can do, okay, Nisa's going to talk between 10 and 12. Somebody else is going to be 12 to 2. And then when I maximize the 24 hours, guess what I can do? Open another one, open another one, open another one. And then I'm just home. And that's what we call profit. When you get into that mindset of profiting, you also get into the mindset of investing. So most people, what they do is, the entrepreneurs, they create a profit out of their investment so they can invest more. Once they invest enough, those investment turns into income that do not depend on them. If you learn to create income out of profits, you are wealthy. That's my take on it.
I like that. So, okay, would you say for real estate, is that an income or is it profit?
It depends on who's doing real estate. If you're a realtor, that's income. I'm sorry, that's income. If you become a broker or you become a team leader, now you're looking at profits. Because as a team leader, you're not the one showing the properties, you're not the one doing listings, so you can recruit as many people as you want. As a broker, the same thing, you can recruit as many people as you want. But as a real estate agent, you are self-employed. There's so many properties you can see. There's so many clients you can talk to. Your income depends on you showing properties. So there's so many properties you can show. I'm sorry. The only thing you can do to grow is move from one niche to another, which means you go from selling $300,000 houses to $800,000 houses. You go from $800,000 houses to $20 million houses. But at the end of the day, it depends on your ability to show or sell homes. But the team leader depends on his ability or her ability to recruit several real estate agents. The broker, his or her ability to recruit several team leaders, several real estate agents. And then like this, they can keep growing. But as a real estate agent yourself, no, it's impossible for you to grow more than a broker could ever do. Impossible.
You think so?
Yeah, I know so. Now, the broker as a person may have limits, but his business doesn't have.
Okay, well, not the business, but
Yeah.
it depends on who's running.
Oh, no, the broker, yes. Certain brokers, they just, how can I say? Certain brokers, they are just in the business to make a few bucks on an agent that is working. That's basically it. I have a broker that is giving everybody 100% and he's collecting $595 per transaction. He has one space for 300 square feet that the agent doesn't even know where it is. And the thing about it, when I research him, 15 years, he only himself sold 3 properties.
Oh, wow.
So he has no idea what real estate is.
Right.
I'm being real. So here's those agents that says, oh, 100%, I'm okay with that. But the truth is, those agents will only do 2 deals, 4 deals, 3 deals a year. And this guy is giving them 100% of commission because I found out not only he has other businesses, but he will also had a career, a job somewhere else. So to him, it was just extra money that he goes on
It was just
vacation.
a stream of income
It's-
that he had.
That's it. That's why do your research. You know? Don't jump in it. Do your research. So me, profit all the time. And I'm going to tell you, I turned this in a principle in my life.
Okay.
Profit all the time in everything. If I'm talking about relationship, friendship, food, anything it is, it's like, what am I investing? What am I going to profit? All the time. And people would say like, but no, a friendship not supposed. No, it's not about taking advantage of people. It's not about using people. No, it's about growing together. If I'm going to invest my time in our friendship, what are you profiting out of it? If you are going to invest your time in our friendship, what am I profiting out of it? And a lot of people do not understand that this is the way we grow. It's not because like, hi, how are you? I'm good. Hi, how are you? I'm good. And then what's the point? I'm being real. Like some friends call me, hey Carl, what's up? I'm okay. Yeah, man. Everything good? Like, yeah. Oh, just telling you what's up, man. Like, okay. I'm okay with you doing that once every 6 months. But if you call me every 2 days, "Carl, what's up?" You know, like what are we doing here? So yes, to me it's about growing together. And I'm with everybody. I always say that to especially women. If you are in a relationship and you are not growing in every aspect of your life, you don't belong there. And I mean every aspect.
That's true.
Okay? Every aspect. I'm not saying like, oh, it's about money or it's about love or it's about this. No. If you're in a relationship with someone and you're not growing in every aspect of your life, you do not belong there, because there is somebody in the world for you that will help you grow every aspect in your
There's
life.
always someone better, ladies. If it's not working out. Not saying get rid of the good man,
don't
but
know, but
yeah,
you know,
if you have
like,
problems,
you know.
just know there's always somebody better.
What if I'm having problems? Because you specifically said ladies. What about me?
I can't speak for you. I'm not a man.
We have problems, a lot of problems.
We know. That's why I'm saying there's always somebody better.
Okay, you see, this is the thing. We hurt too.
Yeah, but
We
y'all-
cry
y'all
too.
don't know how to.
Let's go. This show is about to go bing, bing, bang. Yes.
Y'all don't know how to self-regulate. That's the problem.
Self-regulate. I don't know what that means, so I cannot do it.
That means once your emotions get out of whack, something triggers you. It's.
That's
y'all
a
are
big
worse
thing.
than us.
We can actually bring that into the young and self-employed. Like, it is true, you're right, when we get triggered by things. And I think even in a business that happens. That happens that you have a trigger, I have a trigger. Like, I'll give this story. I say to people, I love you all the time. Okay, it's just me. I would say I love you to Nisa. I say I love you to Alex. I do it all the time because to me the world needs love, you know. And I was talking to this guy, and then he was not gonna buy a property anymore. And for me to close the conversation, I said, "Look, it's okay. I've been selling you guys properties for a while. If you don't buy it, I love your son the same way I always love him. I love your wife the same way I always love him." And then, boom, he was like, "So what? You just told me I have a relationship with my wife." I'm like, "Whoa."
Wow.
I'm like, "No." And then he hung up on me. I'm like,
Oh
"What?"
my gosh, you lost a lifetime.
So I'm like, "Oh my God, what do I do?" So I called the son. I'm like, "Hey, I think I made a boo-boo here. This is what happened." He was like, "Carl, this is old school. The minute you say love, it's way something else." And I'm like, "I didn't know." So yes, you're right. We get triggered, but it's a work in progress all the time. What I would say, if you're in a relationship, business, love, this is what you do. Tell people your triggers. Don't be afraid to say them. Say, "Hey," like an example, me, before I wrote my book, because that was my best psychology session ever, my trigger was, "I've been done, man." You know, if I feel like you're going, go. I will not be the one telling you like, "Hey, can we talk about it?" No. The minute I feel like you're going, go. And then I go run in a corner. Not physically, but emotionally, I go sit in the corner. And I will stay there forever until somebody can pull me out. That's my trigger. So when I am even hiring people, I tell them, "Look, I have a trigger. The trigger is if we ever have a problem, come and talk to me. Don't just distance yourself, because the minute you do, it's very hard for me to even come and talk to you." I say that to people. Some listen. You already know the rest about others. But to me, tell your triggers to people you're dealing with, because it helps them treat you better. because sometimes they don't know.
Right.
Like yesterday, I found out a trigger that I didn't even know existed. The word jealousy. I'm laughing and I say the word in the sentence, and the person just blew up. And I'm like, what happened? And then it's this morning that she called me and she was like, why would you say I was jealous? I'm like, I was trying to make a point. It was not
Right.
like, and that was a trigger that I didn't know. So
Yeah.
now I know, it's that's what it does. It's like, talk about your triggers, because we all do. We all have triggers.
Yeah.
God knows I have a few. Oh yeah.
Okay.
But I do self-regulate.
Oh, now you do before.
Yeah, now I know. Now I understand what self-regulation means.
Oh.
I do self-regulate. But okay, let's be real.
Okay.
So it's okay for you ladies to go out of whack every 10 minutes, but it's not okay for us to go out of whack every 10 years. Oh,
We
yeah.
don't go out of whack every 10 minutes.
All right, 11 minutes. It's okay. I got that.
But you guys, it's just so different because men don't, and it could be like, just being raised thing because you guys weren't taught. I'm not a man, so I don't know. But, talking about your emotions and all these things, we can blow up every 10 minutes and then we're fine. You guys will hold it in and like, you blow up in 10 years and then now your whole mental state is in shambles and you gotta go to therapy. I mean, everybody needs therapy, but it's like everybody needs therapy.
That is true.
Like, you hold it in and then you don't talk about it and then now it's manifesting itself and then you, like, once it comes out, your mental state is shot. But I mean, yeah, we may whatever, have our little moments every couple of days, but it's warranted, okay?
Every couple of hours, it's okay. Every couple of hours. And no, it's not warranted.
Yes, it is.
No,
because
it's not.
We're told to, be proper, be this, be that. When people say outlandish things to you, we're supposed to not react.
I agree with you, and I disagree with that fact that you guys not supposed to react. But what is your fault in a man not expressing his feelings?
It depends on the situation. It depends on the relationship. But because I'm aware of that, like, I'm not someone that if I see someone that has a bad day, man or woman, I'm gonna ask them like, if I can recognize like something's going on, I'm gonna be like, oh wait, like, are you okay? Like, what's happening? I'm not gonna say, okay, well, whatever you got going on, get over it because we got something to do. I'm never gonna be that person to anybody, no matter the gender. But for women, other women maybe, like, I can see that some women have the stereotype.
They go out of rock. Yeah, it's okay.
Some women have the mindset of, oh, men are not supposed to cry. They're supposed to just X, Y, and Z. Some women are like that, and it's really strange. But I mean, those women could be the ones that are affecting those type of men the most. But then again, it's not 100% of women, 100% of men. So there's two sides to both of it.
I love the show because obviously you can tell the show is not scripted. But all right. The question was, what is your fault into it? So I believe women has a lot of fault on us not expressing ourselves. The reason why is because number one is we do express ourselves all the time, 24/7. But women do not read that. The reason I'm very successful as a realtor is because I can read people very easily. Yes, I'm not gonna say I'm 100% right all the time, but I've developed a set of skills that give me that ability to read people based on them not saying a word. Mm-hmm. The minute I open a front door, I only look at people's eyes. I don't look at what they're doing. I don't look at the house because the first thing they see will tell me exactly what to focus on. So those I pay attention to that. So us men, where we'll open the door of the house, we have a face. We are telling you. We would wake up in the morning and we say good morning differently. That's us talking to you. The reason why is because we were taught that if we tell you exactly how we feel, we are vulnerable and we're no longer men. So we're trying to tell you, become my safe space. Let me come in and tell you. But women do not read it that way. They read that we are going out of whack, but we're not. We're trying to tell you. It's like an example. If a man wake up in the morning and he check his bank account and it's minus, and the wife is behind him or the lady is behind him, and the kids are gonna come calling in a minute, he's taught not to say we having financial problem, because the majority of women is gonna be, that's your responsibility. You're supposed to do that. So he's like, let me not say anything, and he hides it. But I'm going to tell you, he's not going to say good morning the same way. He's not going to wake up the same way, because he's telling you something is off. And sometimes women do not read that.
That's what I'm saying. The women that, are kind of like, you're a man, deal with that. But that's that set of women that attracts that kind of man that is willing to express himself. But when he does, he shuts her down. So then it becomes a whole cycle.
That's true.
But I mean, that's what I'm saying. There definitely is a group of women like that have that mentality, that aren't,
So, if you're thinking about being self-employed and you're young, I want you to understand this is what you're going to be dealing with. Mm-hmm. So, your love life is going to entangle into that professional life. Mm-hmm. So, whoever you are with, I'm going to be a great example. A guy walk into a strip club, fall in love with a stripper, take her home, she moves in with him, everybody's great, and then now he has a problem, she's a stripper.
That's his fault.
Yeah, but I'm going to tell you that stories every day, every single day, okay? And I'm taking the stripper because I went to the extreme. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it is a realtor. Mm-hmm. The guy met the realtor showing a property. Fall in love with the realtor, she falls in love, they even end up getting married, and then suddenly you work too much, you're never home, you're always meeting those people, because he's scared that the same way she met me, she might meet someone else. Right. That's his own insecurity. So the reason why I'm mentioning that is because you are young, you're not in a relationship yet, or you're in one and you're thinking about being self-employed, no matter what it is, talk about it. Seriously. A lot of us, we have something. We refuse to discuss the bad things. We wait until they happen. I'm going to tell you, when I'm doing a partnership with someone, when I'm hiring someone, I talk about all the bad things that can happen right there. And I see how the person is reacting. So I know when the bad things happen, what should I expect? So a lot of times, if you're about to become self-employed and you have a relationship, sit down and tell them, what if this guy asked me to eat before he signed the contract? What's going to happen? What is this girl say, oh, they are going on vacation, can I tag along? What you ask and see what your relationship answers to. If the person is okay, if not okay, then you already know where you stand. Being young, being self-employed has a lot more to do with than money. A lot of us, we're blinded by the money, and then we're destroying our life in the backstage. Mm-hmm. Okay, so please think about it. Do not just run. Oh, let me be a realtor because I just saw this show. There's this lady that told me, I saw this show on TV that all realtors are millionaires.
Selling Sunset.
All realtors are millionaires. Oh my, no, they not. Okay, and some of them are living really, really horrible life because of the choice they make. Mm-hmm. Okay, just be very careful with that. So that's me. That's my advice.
My advice? What was the topic? Oh, relationships.
Well, yeah, we are way off base today.
No matter what you're doing, make sure you're growing from it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Business,
you gotta grow.
Relationship, personal. Make sure you're growing from it.
Yeah, you have to grow.
Give men safe spaces.
Yes, be a safe space for your partner. And that's not even just man, it's just be a safe space for your partner. A lot of times you may not like something, but the person has to be able to talk to you about it.
Right.
And a lot of times we do not do that. And I'm going to be honest. Parents, be a safe space for your kid. Kid, be a safe space for your parents. You know, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, brother, sister, whatever relationship you have, employee, employers, you know, be a safe space, because the person has to be able to tell you what's going on in order for you to even offer to help. Mm-hmm. If you're not a safe space, you don't have a relationship, no matter what relationship it is.
That's true.
The Young and Self-Employed, unfiltered stories. See you guys next time.